Good morning. I'm an addict named Austin. I got clean here at Serenity House in Abilene, Texas on October 19, 2014. I haven't been able to get on here in a little while, so I wanted to get on here and read the Just for Today with you. April 24th, 12 Steps of Life. Through abstinence and through working the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous, our lives have become useful. Before coming to Narcotics Anonymous, our lives were centered around using. For the most part, we had very little energy left over for jobs, relationships, and other activities. We served only our addiction. The 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous provide a simple way to turn our lives around. We started by staying clean a day at a time. When our energy is no longer channeled into our addiction, we find that we have the energy to pursue other interests. As we grow in recovery, we become able to sustain healthy relationships. We become trustworthy employees. Hobbies and recreation seem more inviting. Through participation in Narcotics Anonymous, we help others. Narcotics Anonymous does not promise us that we will find good jobs, loving relationships, or a fulfilling life. But when we work the 12 steps to the best of our ability, we find that we can become the type of people who are capable of finding employment, sustaining loving relationships, and helping others. We stop serving our disease and begin serving God and others. The 12 steps are the key to transforming our lives. Just for today, I will have the wisdom to use the 12 steps in my life and the courage to grow in my recovery. I will practice my program to become a responsible, productive member of society. Right, I was thinking about this. I was like, it's a good thing that I didn't read this before I got clean, right? Because I would have been scared to death of getting clean if I thought I was going to have to be involved. The job thing, not as much, but in a loving relationship, a fulfilling life, serving God and others, those weren't anything that I thought was ever going to be a part of my life. I had been reduced to this animalistic level of way of life, and I just wanted to get the needle out of I just wanted to stop using, right? And all these other things were not in the picture. I just wanted to get free from active addiction. And thank God for treatment centers like Serenity House. It was able to get me free from the substance, right? And in that process, my spirit started coming back to life. I still wasn't working towards any of these things. I was just trying to figure out how to stay clean a day at a time. And I think that's where we're all at when we get here, right? Like, we just want to stop using and hurting people. And so when I got here, my spirit came back to life in treatment, and I started messing around with these things called the 12 steps, started tinkering a little bit. And there was freedom in that. I started to get freedom. And after a little while of being in the program, I realized that very shortly that, like, I am a good employee when I'm not using drugs. If you're an addict like me, and I'm sure we all are, when I'm really focused on getting something, I'll put in a lot of hard work. And so I think a lot of us addicts are probably some of the hardest workers. It was hard out there using, and so when we get that turned in the right direction and start using it for employment, we become pretty good employees and pretty good people, to be really honest. But it's hard to find harder workers than addicts, right? And so I did that for a while. Started paying rent, doing the normal, being a productive member of society. Started paying rent, child support, my bills, got a vehicle, got all those things going on. And I realized I could work really hard, and so I really focused on that. After a while, staying in this process, there's other things you work on besides just working hard, right? And so I was able to get some, I was able to start some relationships, not intimate relationships in the beginning, just relationships with other men in the program, where I was able to start learning how to function mentally and emotionally on a higher level. I was able to mature a little bit, and I realized, like, I could be an asset in some relationships. That was hopeful. So then I started dating women, and of course, not all of those worked out like they were supposed to. It was, or they did work out like they were supposed to, but they were all lessons that I was able to learn about myself and others. And so it was crazy how all of a sudden, after a little bit of time clean, here I am, looking forward to these type of things in life, when before I got clean, these weren't even on the plate, right? And so I feel like working the 12 steps, it's kind of a call to be a better person. And if you work them, they're going to work in your life. And so I ended up getting in a relationship and getting married. And I didn't think that I would ever want to get married. And I didn't ever think I would be a good enough person to be in a marriage, right? And so thank God for the steps. I didn't think that I believed in God. I just didn't think that God was ever going to come down and keep me from using drugs, right? Today I do believe in a higher power, and that I'll never have to use again, even if I want to, because of this program. And so this program has completely changed my life. I believe if you work it, it'll change yours. Um, if there was anybody, if you would have when I even still, there's this old part of me that's like, oh, those things will never happen for you. If you were like me, there was not anybody that was less capable of being in a loving relationship, a healthy relationship with God and serving others. That just wasn't who I was. I was very selfish. I could work really hard to get what I wanted, but I wasn't interested in making anybody else happy. And so today I'm really grateful that that mindset has changed. I can still be selfish and self-centered, but for the most part, I try to live my life, and this sounds a little codependent, to make others happy, my wife happy, my son happy, to help people in recovery. And so I'm really grateful for the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous. When I read this reading today, this is my life. And that was something it was something I dreamed of and prayed for, but it's something I really didn't believe could come true for me. And please believe, if it can come true for me, it can come true for you too. Thank y'all for tuning in today. I hope you have a good day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.